Springdale comes together. Find out how one storm unites a whole community.
And how one business turns a day of grief into a day of giving.
And coming up, I'll show you how the community is bouncing back here in Springdale. Coming up next on UATV.
Welcome to this Wednesday night edition of UATV News. I'm Cameron Johnson.
And I'm Joshua Pineda. Thank you for joining us. The National Weather Service reports the tornado that hit Springdale, Arkansas early this morning was no smaller than an EF2 tornado. Residents and city officials now begin to pick up the pieces of the storm. Take a look at this video. Here's some storm damage in Springdale from earlier today. The tornado touched down around 4 a.m. on Main Drive, then proceeded to rip through other parts of the community. According to the Springdale Police Department, 7 people total were transported to the hospital. 5 were treated and released, 1 is in critical condition, and 1 more is still in the hospital but stable.
Numerous community members have been affected by last night's storms. UATV's Emily Fletcher is live in Springdale with the story. Emily?
I'm here at George Elementary in Springdale, where you can see behind me what is left of the school gymnasium. There's debris everywhere, a few trees have been uprooted, phone lines are down, and even a few residential homes have been impacted along the path of this tornado. Thankfully, that the tornado has left no loss of life, but this is only a glimpse into what Springdale residents experienced early this morning.
You can replace clothes, cars, shoes. You can't replace the person you love.
This community member was rudely awoken last night as she heard the tornado rip through her neighborhood. She said the sound was like a train. She says in the moment, she only focused on one thing, making sure those around her were safe.
It was just like, just making sure that everybody was out was what I was worried about. Because if that building would have failed, that would have killed over 20 people in one building.
This mindset is something she shares with the community of Springdale as a whole, as many volunteers flocked to the scenes of the damage this morning, eager to help. Numerous volunteers signed up with their name and phone number at Cross Church Springdale to volunteer for help as they're needed. Volunteers have already been gathering at the Springdale Parks and Rec Center to help serve those that have been dislocated by the disaster.
Our goal, of course, is to always make sure that folks have a safe place to stay and a warm meal to eat. So our goal is to ensure that we have a place for folks to go. So we've spent most of the morning trying to make sure that we have a shelter.
Thankfully, this tornado left no loss of life, but what it did leave was a community ready to spring back into action, which is great because there's still a lot of work left to be done. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Emily Fletcher.
Officials with the Springdale School District say school will resume as normal tomorrow for students of George Elementary. More information can be found on the Springdale School District Facebook page.
Many residents experienced roof damages after the storm. Local roofers walked door to door examining and helping people with damages done to their roofs.
First line of work thing we're doing is we're trying to put on tarps to stop the leaks. You know, once we get the leaks stopped, then we'll look at other things, such as the full roof or something like that. Right now, we're just stopping the water.
Kelly said he helped over 40 people with their homes and says he'll continue to help the community.
While many buildings and homes have regained electricity, some are still facing power outages. The Southwestern Electric Power Company made their latest outage report at 5 p.m. for Washington County. The company tracks over 50,000 people, and there are about 3,500 outages total. To keep up with the latest outages and updates, visit the SWEPCO website. The Springdale School District has posted several resources on their Facebook page. Volunteers have rallied in support by gathering donations of non-perishable food and water items. Those who want to help may take donations to the Treehouse Pantry or call their central office to donate funds. The page also names several shelters in the area that are actively helping those in need. Updates and contact lists will continue to be posted to the school district's Facebook page.
Along with the Red Cross, local businesses have also stepped up to help. UATV's Ben Sawyers has the story. Ben?
Thanks, Josh. I'm here in Springdale, where one restaurant really stepped up to help the community give back. They gave lunch to residents of Springdale free of charge. Take a look. For those affected by Tuesday night storms, Jose's Bar and Grill provides a warm meal. Jose's owner, Doug Allen, was quick to respond in the tornado's aftermath.
You know, it was pretty shocking. I said, I got to do something, you know, and I can do something. I can feed people. You know, that's what I do best.
The Springdale restaurant provided meals to victims of the storm throughout the day, no questions asked. Allen spoke on the benefits of a warm place to eat in a time of need.
Feeding people makes people comfortable, makes them happy. You know, it takes their mind off the situation for a while. It's just the right thing to do, and it'll definitely come back to you tenfold, that's for sure.
While many businesses help provide for the community, Allen says citizens stepped up in their own way.
We got a bunch of great businesses around here. It's not just me. There's people that have called me and that have donated stuff to Jose's for other people to pick up, from monetary donations to food to clothing.
With donations coming in, Allen says he's proud to be a member of the Springdale community.
Our community is just awesome. We're a close-knit community, and it shows, especially in times of need.
Allen said that he was just happy that he was in a position to give back to the community. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Ben Sawyers.
Thanks, Ben. On top of restaurants like Jose's, businesses like the Jones Center and Tyson Foods also offer aid. More information on how those businesses are helping can be found online.
Along with the damages in Springdale, North Fayetteville also saw effects. There was destruction in the parking lot of Jersey Mike's, Guitar Center, and Nail Spa. 3 light posts were knocked down, windows were blown out, and glass was scattered across the parking lot. Along with these damages, there was also a van that was relocated due to wind speeds, and the van windows were shattered. A storage unit containing Jersey Mike's kitchenware was ripped open, leaving utensils scattered across surrounding businesses.
Even after taking a direct hit of wind and damage, Jersey Mike's continues to host a day of giving. Local store owner Nick Morgan says on his personal Facebook page that, quote, "Not even a tornado is going to stop us from hitting our 50K goal," end quote. The Day of Giving event supports the Special Olympics, and 100% of profits made will go directly to the cause.
Beyond efforts to clean up our neighboring city, find out how the community of Fayetteville can get involved this Earth Day.
And a rainbow is making its way to Dixon Street. More on how you can join in on the action next on UATV.
Walmart will be discontinuing cigarette sales in select stores. A senior manager for Walmart, Ashley Nolan, stated the corporation values customer needs just as much as the business as a whole. Stores in Texas, Florida, Arkansas, and New Mexico will follow through with termination of sales. Walmart stands as the largest corporation to end cigarette sales.
The city of Fayetteville looks to find volunteers for the upcoming spring cleanup. The first volunteer opportunity will take place at Lake Fayetteville on April 16th, and the second cleanup will take place April 23rd in honor of Earth Day. The Marion Orton Recycling Center will serve as the check-in spot for the events and will begin at 9. And a bulky waste cleanup also takes place this month. The city of Fayetteville plans to host 2 different waste drop-off sites per weekend. These events will happen on the first, second, and last weekends in April and the first weekend in May. In order to bring waste, you must provide proof of residency with a recent water bill.
Looking to wine and dine in the dark? Fayetteville Public Library is doing just that. Dining in the Dark fundraiser allows attendees to try a 5-course meal while blindfolded. The event will take place on Saturday, April 9th at the Library Event Center. Ticket starts at $100 per person and can be purchased on their website until April 1st.
A portion of the Razorback Greenway remains detoured. The detoured area off South Gregg Avenue allows for the construction of a new public outdoor space coming to downtown. The new 50-acre space called The Ramble will feature forest trails, creeks, and gathering spaces. The route will remain detoured until May 6th.
The owners of the 112 Drive-In hope to seek a rezoning of the nearly 20-acre property. This rezoning will change the land from a strictly commercial zone to an urban thoroughfare district, meaning the use would be intended for residential, retail, and entertainment uses. The Planning Commission is set to discuss the request on April 11th.
Arkansas's second ever Trans March will return to downtown Fayetteville during this year's Pride Festival. The event, scheduled for Saturday, June 18th, will take place as the first Pride Festival to happen since the pandemic began. Organizers say event and festival schedules will become available soon at nwapride.org.
One player's inspiration for his coach turns into a love for a sport. Find out how coming up next on UATV.
A tennis player here on campus shares his experience being a Razorback and an Arkansas native. Take a look at his story.
You know, the whole goal is to make NCAAs. And then we start the SEC season, you know, in March or so. So I think it's big for our team's confidence to just start rolling and keep winning. Our expectations are to continue this good momentum shift and just continue to build and keep trying and competing, and the results will come. We're not necessarily wanting to be our full potential now. We're wanting to have our full potential at the end of May or in April. Coach Jackson basically he's never satisfied with anything, even if we're 10-0. He's always wanting more from us, and I think that's what he's continuing to ask from us is,
okay, you tried hard. It's a mistake, it's okay, but just be aware that you're going to eliminate that if you want your level to go.
But he could care less if we are 5-0. Of course, he likes to win, but I think it's if we just continue to try and keep pushing forward and getting better every day, that's what he wants. So he would say the same thing to us even if we were 0-4. And for me, personally, he's a huge confidence booster for me. He'll be on my court in doubles, and you know, seeing him pump me up is probably one of the greatest feelings ever, just because he's one of the most decorated coaches in college tennis. Because he's been doing this for over 40 years. And you know, one of the reasons why I came here is because he's been there, done that. And the fact that he sees that in me, that I'm capable of playing and being a captain, is the biggest confidence booster ever. We want to be at our full potential. We want to be at our best at the end of the season, which is when it counts. I think as long as all 6 courts are trying and competing, then we're satisfied with that. As long as we all have fight, we're fighting. I think that's the main thing that Coach Jackson tells us before every match, is that we want to be fighting on every court.
You're always trying.
And just having the hog on your shirt, or it's not on my shirt, but having the Razorback, representing the Razorback, is a huge deal to me, just because I'm from here. And it just means the world to have the opportunity to play for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Tennessee will host the men's tennis team this Friday. And a new face joins Razorback basketball. A look at Coach Musselman's newest recruit.
And the Diamond Hogs start the week off on a high note. A breakdown of Tuesday's win next on UATV Sports.
Welcome back to UATV Sports. I'm Alex Saltman with your Wednesday night sports update. The second-ranked Arkansas baseball team was back in action yesterday at Baum-Walker Stadium to take on the Little Rock Trojans. The Hogs won the game 16-8 to move to 19-4 on the season. The Razorbacks were scheduled to play the Trojans again tonight, but that game has been canceled due to rain. The Hogs will now return their attention to the SEC series this weekend in Fayetteville. The Hogs will be hosting the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Razorbacks will try to win their 3rd straight SEC series in a row. Friday's game will be televised nationally on SEC Network. The 9th-ranked Arkansas softball team will be hitting the road this weekend to take on the Ole Miss Rebels in a 3-game series. The Lady Hogs are coming off of a home series win against the 22nd-ranked LSU Tigers last weekend at Bogle Park. The Razorbacks are 22-6 on the year and 4-2 in SEC play. The Razorbacks will try to improve upon their 5-1 record on the road as they travel to Oxford. All 3 games this weekend will be televised on SEC Network Plus. Following this weekend's series, the Hogs will have less than 48 hours before they travel to Conway to take on Central Arkansas on Thursday night. The Arkansas men's basketball team saw their NCAA tournament run come to an end to the Duke Blue Devils in the Elite Eight over the weekend. This was their 2nd straight season to make it to the Elite Eight. This is the first time since the 1994-95 season that the Hogs have accomplished this feat in back-to-back years. Despite the loss, the future looks bright for the Hogs with a stellar 2023 recruiting class coming to the Hill next season. The Hogs finalized their class on Tuesday night by picking up a commitment from 5-star Anthony Black. With the addition of Black, this gives the Razorbacks 3 McDonald's All-Americans. He will join 5-star guard Nick Smith and 5-star forward Jordan Walsh next season. Joining them will be a trio of 4-star players. Darian Ford, Barry Dunning, and Joseph Pinion round out the class for the Hogs. The Razorbacks finished with the second-best recruiting class in the country for 2023. The most notable player the Hogs picked up was Little Rock native Nick Smith. Many believe that he will be a lottery pick in the 2023 NBA Draft. The Arkansas gymnastics team finished in 6th place in the SEC championships last weekend. They posted their 3rd highest score ever in an SEC meet. The Gymbacks were then selected to compete in the NCAA tournament. The Hogs will be traveling to the Sooner State to compete in the Norman Regional. The Hogs will take on number 1 seeded Oklahoma, 16 seed Arizona State, and either Arizona or West Virginia. It all starts tomorrow for the Hogs as they will compete in the 5 p.m. session of the regional. The top 2 teams from the meet will advance to the regional final on Saturday at 7 p.m. You can watch all of the action on ESPN+. That's all for UATV Sports. We'll be back with more after the break.
With the big storms behind us, the weather continues to stay cool tomorrow. Those looking to make efforts with community cleanup will face a high of 51 and a low of 32.
And there's also a chance of rain for the next couple of hours, so make sure to grab your umbrellas tonight. And that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to follow us on our social media page at UATV News. I'm Joshua Pineda.
And I'm Cameron Johnson. Thanks for joining us and stay safe.